Mr. Paul Lee, why don't you come on up and drop some knowledge on us?
Thank you, Andrea. I know that it's hot and you've been out here for a long time, so I'll do my best to be brief. I appreciated the song Evergreen, but some of you might be surprised that that's not the first People's Park song. If you've heard Marvin Gaye's What's Going On, it's actually about People's Park. On May 15th, 1969, when the police acted like fascists in attacking the students who were creating People's Park, O.B. Benson, who was a member of the Four Tops group from my birthplace of Detroit, was staying at the Hotel Telegraph overlooking this scene. And he muttered under his breath, "What's going on?" The reason that it was a surprise to him is because if the police had been attacking black people, there wouldn't have been anything unusual. But he saw white students being treated on this occasion like we're treated every day. He went back to Detroit and he offered the song to the Four Tops, who turned it down, then offered it to Marvin Gaye, who took it. So next time you hear that song, listen very carefully to the lyrics because it's talking about our experience here in Berkeley. There's another aspect of People's Park that isn't often mentioned, and that is the fact that the white left had matured by 1969, where it was working in coalescence or in cooperation with the black movement. Berkeley, unfortunately, has a history on its left of a blind spot when it comes to people who look like me. So Joe spoke about SLATE, that organized against the House Un-American Activities Committee. SLATE also organized an attempted appearance by Malcolm X in 1961. The university barred him, but SLATE did not reach out to the black students. So the black students formed the Afro-American Association, which Kamala Harris's parents later became members of. In 1964, when the free speech movement emerged, the free speech movement again had a blind spot and did not reach out to the black students, much less the black community. This is ironic because the free speech they were talking about was the right to have tables on Sproul Plaza promoting civil rights for African Americans. But they didn't reach out to the African Americans in their own midst. Members of the free speech movement the next year in 1965 sought to have a project in the black community to be able to help the conditions there. Instead of going to South Berkeley or West Berkeley next door, they went all the way over us to West Oakland. In 1966, the Students for a Democratic Society, which was referred to by Joe and also Rabbi Lerner was a leader of, organized on October 29, 1966, what they called Black Power Day. Black Power was a modern iteration of black nationalism, which meant self-determination of black people charting their own destiny, doing something for themselves. Rabbi Lerner and Jerry Rubin were the ones that came up with the idea, and Rabbi Lerner just told me they had to sell this to SDS, the supposedly radical movement. But again, they failed to reach out to the black students. So by this time, the black students had formed the Afro-American Student Union, and there was a big rally on Sproul Plaza the day before, on October 29th. And the black students gave hell to these so-called right radicals for organizing a conference on Black Power, a Black Power Day, and not reaching out to us. As a matter of fact, the past president of the Afro-American Student Union slapped Jerry Rubin in the face. And it is to the credit of Rabbi Lerner that he took the mic and apologized from his heart for that oversight, for that blind spot. And I'm privileged to have told the rabbi that as an historian, I teach in the African American Studies department over here. I count the kind of stand that Rabbi Lerner took as the beginning of the maturation of the white left, where it recognized that this movement has to be one movement if fundamental change is to be brought about. We can't afford to have blind spots. So 3 years later, when the white radicals and white students on this campus organized to take People's Park, for the first time they reached out to our community and to our students. So everybody knows the date of May 15th, 1969, but what you don't know is that the same white students who were behind this planned on May 19th to memorialize Malcolm X's birthday. So we have to not only stop segregating our movement, we have to stop segregating our history. And if you look deeper, you'll see that the history of People's Park is also the history of black people. Yeah. I wish that the audience that we have here was more diverse, but I do believe that our movement has matured to the point where we recognize that we're all in this together, or we're all going to fail together. Save People's Park. Thank you. Yeah.